Teen Titans Go, the only show on Cartoon Network that could compete with the amazing world of Freakball in terms of the jokes actually landing. On July 19th, 2003, Teen Titans aired, and wait, that's my birthday. But before I was born. I guess that this is my purpose after all. Everyone loved Teen Titans, and even though I wasn't born in time to see its premiere, as soon as I did spawn in, I grew to love the show as well. It was something we had never seen before. Robin and a group of other young heroes taking the spotlight and forming the best super team of all time. Who wouldn't fall in love with it? But only 3 short years later, on January 16th, 2006, the final episode of the show aired. It was titled Things Change, and boy, did things change. 10 years after the premiere of the original show, its successor had arrived. April 23rd, 2013, the birth of Teen Titans Go. Anybody that hated the show didn't really give it a fair chance because they felt as if it was replacing Teen Titans. But honestly, that's just not the case. If you take it for what it is, aka a parody of the show, then you could look at it from a different lens. It's meant to make fun of things and turn these characters into extreme caricatures of what they used to be. Yo, that sounded kind of smart, like a video essay or something. This show isn't Teen Titans, and it isn't trying to be either. And through that originality, we were graced with banger after banger after banger that the original series just couldn't produce, whether it was Shrimp and Prime Rib, Catchin' Villains, or the oh so popular Sour Grapes. But aside from the fire songs they gave us, this show is full of passion, and I'm being serious. The original cast returned to fill their roles once more, and you can just tell how much fun they're having. The writers obviously have a field day when writing the scripts for these episodes. Heck, I wouldn't even be surprised if they just let the animators wing it and there was no script. And if that's the case, then they had a little too much fun with Lady Freakasis, but we'll talk about that later. The show is filled to the brim with references of the wider DC universe, and it's obvious that everyone involved are fans of the source material. But it can't be all sunshine and rainbows, right? There has to be more to it. All the hate for the show couldn't be unjustified. Even with all the good things I mentioned, I completely understand how someone could still dislike this show. The first group of people I imagined are on the older side. They were there when the original show aired and got their hopes up when Teen Titans Go was announced. Maybe they thought it'd be a continuation of the show they loved so much, and after seeing how extremely different it was, their expectations were obviously not met. It's understandable. Others just may not like the show's sense of humor or dislike the lack of a central plot or any real story for that matter. All completely fair criticisms. But it wouldn't be fair for me to just sit here and assume people's problems with the show. So let's look at the reviews for ourselves. Already, it's not looking the best with the amount of 1-star reviews almost matching the amount of 5-star reviews. But wait, what's that at the bottom, you ask? A 5-star written review, I answer. This show is the best sitcom ever to be shown on TV. I didn't grow up with it, but I had seen parts of it on YouTube, and I finally watched it. This show is so sad, but at the same time, it is so funny and beautiful and romantic. It's like the TV version of a comfort food, XD. Chandler is so sweet. Are we sure this guy's talking about the right show? Alright, I'll just read the one right below it instead. I have no words to describe my absolute disappointment in this show. Teen Titans Go is just bad. The animation I don't care about because it is a cartoon, so it's meant to be lazy. The description of this show is what happens when the capes come off. They didn't do a good job. If this is supposed to remake a show that was originally dark and actually for teens, make it similar. Cartoon Network has fallen from making original shows to reboots of old cartoons and inserting butt jokes every 8 seconds. I haven't even gotten to the characters yet. Their attitudes are repulsive. If Cartoon Network animators went outside and interviewed an actual teenager, this show would be very different. Nobody acts like this, not even the original characters. There is no storyline this show follows. It changes it and just comes up with it as it goes. There were some decent episodes like The Night Begins to Shine, not the one filler episode but the short series. I only watched a few of the OG Teen Titans everyone was talking about, but I don't even need that to know they ruined them. I have a basic understanding of preteens and teenagers, and they do not make butt jokes. Then this show's air schedule is every single day. They waste their budget on this dead show instead of keeping up shows their viewers like. Not to mention, the fandom is toxic to people who like the original, saying, "It's funny, they don't know true humor, you suck," and other babyish insults. The show is not funny. This show teaches the wrong morals 99.9% of the time. Robin is a Starfire-obsessed control freak. Starfire is a slow Martian. Cyborg is a meatball burger-obsessed amplified faulty American. Beast Boy is a disgraceful, useless Chad. Raven is an emo, typically depressed child. Teen Titans Go is not for anyone but people who think this show has a valuable lesson or story to tell. This show needs to be put down before CN ends up bankrupt and forgotten. Bleed your eyes out at me if you hate me. I really don't care. This is a review, not a debate. I'm not interested in your sob story of an excuse for why Teen Titans Go is good. Be my guest if you want to go ahead. So, there's a lot to unpack here. Out of respect for the original reviewer, I'm in no way trying to change your opinion on the show. I will simply be addressing these criticisms and giving my opinion on why the show is not only watchable, but actually pretty good. Now, firstly, the reviewer claimed to be disappointed in the show, but later on admitted that they haven't even watched the original. So that leads me to wonder what expectations you could have possibly had. Not to mention, expectations so high that it'd lead you to making a 1-star review. Then you say you don't care about the animation, so that couldn't have been what disappointed you so badly. You say that this is a remake of a dark show, which just isn't true, and again, you didn't even watch the full series. And worst of all, you keep comparing them to actual teenagers. You claim to have a basic understanding of preteens and teenagers, whatever that means, which leads me to assume that you're not even one. Firstly, teenagers today are a lot different than they were 10 years ago or whatever. And as a teenager myself, brain rot is a very real thing that has led to people I know acting like a Teen Titans Go character. Honestly, them being teens in this show is the least important thing or narrative that the show is trying to push. It's for namesake and nothing more. But again, other things you mentioned, like not finding it funny, is completely subjective, and I understand the humor isn't for everyone. But there's a difference between disliking a show and just being straight up freaking rude. This guy says, "This show sucks, and whoever watches this and enjoys it is trash." Why are Teen Titans Go haters so aggressive? Just calm down and give valid reasoning for a 1-star review. His first reason is that it apparently teaches kids bad morals. Oh, so the amazing world of Gumball has far more valuable lessons, right? Reason 2, the Titans act more like villains than heroes. It's a comedy, so anything can happen for the sake of a joke. They also give a bunch of comparisons as to why the older versions of the characters are better. Again, the show is a parody and is playing up the characters to their extremes. And the reviewer doesn't even do a good job at summarizing the characters. Robin wasn't always serious, Beast Boy's entire personality didn't revolve around liking Terra, and Raven was a nice demon who loves her friends more than anything. And your critique with the newer one is that she likes Pretty Pegasus and wears her hood a lot. I think it's time for us all to just admit that Teen Titans Go is peak, and if you do have real criticisms, be respectful when making them, and maybe the creators won't disregard what you say, because it just comes across as you being butthurt about a 20-year-old show, and just like that, you just got schooled. Take that, mean 1-star reviewer. But the show does have its problems. A real critique of the show could be just how freaky it is. There are so many scenes centered around Robin's butt, I couldn't even count them all. And Lady Freakasus made one appearance too many. These guys are just PG-13 gooners. I mean, there's even a song and dance dedicated to shaking your booty, the booty scooty. Here's some of the lyrics. Scoot your booty, that booty, now do the booty scooty. Alright, turns out that's the full song. Aside from the song, it's not uncommon for cartoons to implement humor for older audiences to make it funny for everyone, and the OG series was no different. So again, I think this show is great. It's fine to dislike it. In fact, you don't even need to have a reason for not liking something, but to go out of your way and leave a negative review, I'd expect to see some valid reasoning.